everybody, Candace Doniolo here. There's usually a little bit of a delay, so I hope you can hear me. Once you can, please let me know in the chat. I am coming to you live. I am live in Chicago at Urban Pooch, our third place winner. No, that's not, that's two. Third place winner in America's coolest pet store. And I live in Chicago, so I thought this is a perfect time for me to come and broadcast live. I've only done this one other time. We were at the Green Spot in Omaha last year. So I think you guys can hear me. All right, here. Now, what's really exciting about the Pets Plus Live Beyond the Pages is that you get to go on a journey with me behind the pages of the printed magazine. This is this awesome magazine. I think everyone watching has probably gotten a copy or seen a copy, but you get to go beyond the pages where you get to connect directly with the experts one-on-one. You know, we pull different people from the magazine every month. We do 2 of these shows, and you get to chat directly with us. So I don't want any hesitations in the chat room. Ask your questions, and Christina from our team at Pet Boss Nation will flag them for us to ask either myself or experts at the end. So I'm your show host, Candace Doniolo. I'm a pet business coach and a former retailer. I still have a doggy daycare, not too far actually from Ed's. And I also, love to connect pet industry professionals. And so that's why Pets Plus Magazine and I work so much together, because we really believe in helping you build a stronger, better, profitable business. Now, if you want your own copy of the magazine, all you have to do is go to petsplusmag.com and you can get your free issue. Don't hesitate, because it's totally full of all kinds of amazing tips and tools. And why we're here tonight is because we are going to be talking to our 2nd place and 3rd place winners of America's Coolest Pet Store Contest, which is Pets Plus's big a contest they run every single year. Well, it's been 2 years in a row because they're still a young magazine, but they are booming. Breeders and retailers love them. And earlier in this month, we talked to Liel, the woman on the cover. We talked to her. And so tonight we get to talk to our 2nd and 3rd place winners. So I'm super excited because they were only actually 1.7% in their scores away from each other. So it was a very tight race between the 2 of them. And tonight, you're going to get to talk directly with them. So let me first, I'm at Urban Pooch, and we're going to bring on Ed in just a second. But let me introduce you first to our 2nd place winner, which is Adopt and Shop in Culver City, California. All right, so it's Michelson Found Animals Foundation is a nonprofit that's geared towards reducing euthanasia through sustainable business models. So their Adopt and Shop is a location, it's a unique store with a mission to save pets and enrich lives, offering pet adoptions, pet supplies, grooming, and doggy daycare, all out of one location. All of their pets come from local shelters, and as a nonprofit, all of their profits they receive go right back into the programs that they do to save more animals. Adopt and Shop actually has 75 employees. Can you believe it? And over 800 volunteers. It's a lot of people to manage. And tonight we're bringing on Donna Casamento, who's the Chief Program Officer. Donna, if you're not already on, come on, turn your camera on and join me here. Awesome.
Hello there. Hi, guys.
So I want to tell everybody a little bit about you and kind of what you do there as the Chief Program Officer. You're responsible for several programs, including the Adopt and Shop retail location, as well as the Kitten Foster Project, the Catty Wagon, which I found a video on YouTube, and I'm going to share the video of the Catty Wagon. It's so cool.
It is.
And you've got a microchip registry as well.
That's
You've
right.
done so much. There's more, your accreditations go on and on. I mean, I have to share this because I truly believe that a lot of our retailers and business centers have a lot to learn from you. So you are help with shelter management, clinic management, increasing revenue through donor development. You do fundraising events, you write grants, you help run the in-shelter retail, and you develop community partnerships. Oh my gosh, you sound like one busy woman.
I am. We have so many great people though working with us. It takes all of us working together to make it all happen. So we're a unique organization doing a lot of different things and wearing a lot of different hats, all to help animals.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to learn more. And let's see, before we do that, we're going to bring on our third place winner. I've got Ed with me. Come on in, Ed. Come on in. We're gonna close.
Hi, everybody.
Closer.
There we go.
So we've got Ed here tonight.
I'm gonna sit in Candace's lap.
Hey. So, Ed, as I said, owns Urban Pooch. You started back in 2009, and you have a co-founder as well, Dan.
Yes, my husband too.
How's that working together?
You know what? It's we're still married.
Still married, still business partners. No one sold their shares yet.
No. It's working.
That's good. So you've offered thoughtful retail, daycare, cageless boarding, grooming, self-wash, and massage, all to Chicago's pets. Now, Ed's business here has won so many awards, even before the award they won tonight. He's been voted Best Doggy Daycare 3 years in a row and Best Pet Retail Store in all of Chicago for 2 years in a row. I mean, those are some pretty big awards to win. You're doing a good job. And most recently voted as one of our coolest pet stores in America. So they're constantly a leader here in Chicago. They have a staff of 37. That's a lot of people. Yes. I have a team of 18, and it's hard to manage them. I can imagine having double. And you constantly provide loving care for our pet parents here in Chicago. All right, so your facility itself also has blue floors, really cool blue floors, lots of industrial fixtures. There's a really cool, is that one of those big ass fans?
It is a big ass fan. Yep.
For those,
it's only 7 feet wide. They go up to 32 feet.
Oh yeah. That we interviewed, if you guys want to go back to an old episode of, I interviewed, the owner of Pet Camp out in California, and they have one of those big ass fans. We talk a lot about it there, but there's all kinds of cool fixtures in here, and maybe even if there's time at the end, I can take our camera and walk around. But Ed also has some amazing accomplishments too. You've led a global innovation and emerging technology for craft foods. And Mondelez
International, which is basically Nabisco that split from Kraft.
Got it. And you've published a book?
I did. About pets in New York City. It was called NYC Pet Project, a collection of portraits and letters from the heart where we photographed people like in their surrounding or burrow or a special place with their pet. And then everyone wrote a letter to their pet, what their pet meant to them. And all of it was going on. And then 9/11 happened. And a lot of the letters, you could see that the pets provided that extra love, that the parents needed. And we even have like a pet rat that was owned by homeless people in one of the parks. It was pretty wild.
Yeah. Do you still have copies of those?
I do.
Can we still buy it online?
Yes, actually, I can give you all a copy. Whoever wants one, just email ed@urbanpooch.com and I'll send it for free.
There you go. He's already given away gifts. I love it. And oh my gosh, you've created apps that have won awards, and I love it. You've been on your own cover of a magazine before, which is back in 2012.
A long time ago when I was a young lad.
So maybe we'll have to pull out a copy of that too and share it in the thread afterwards. But all right, everybody. Well, I can't wait to dig in deeper about what it is that makes these amazing entrepreneurs here so special. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're just tuning in, that we want you to type in the chat thread if you have any questions, okay? And the areas we're going to cover tonight is that, they each have, both Donna and Ed have their own unique skill sets. And one of the things that Donna mentioned, I guess maybe before we go into that, if I haven't shared anything yet about each of your locations, that's what we need to do. Is I would love for you, in case people haven't read your articles yet that were in this latest issue, let's hear what Adopt and Shop is all about, Donna.
Well, thanks for asking. We're pretty unusual in our community in that we have adoptions. So we have animals coming in from shelters that are sourced here locally in the Los Angeles area. So we're really part of that whole life-saving mission that we have going on here. We only get our animals from the shelters. We don't take owner surrender. So we operate in two ways. We're a social enterprise that is here to save the lives of animals, but we do that and support it through our retail, daycare, and grooming operations. So it's a little different. We're kind of a strange mix. We're the only place in town that does these two things. And organizations that I've worked at in other parts of the country, one of the things in animal welfare that we struggle with all the time is that, you know, when you pull animals from the shelters, they have a lot of needs, medical and otherwise. So we're trying to cover the cost of that. And people say, oh, well, you get adoption fees. Well, we don't always get adoption fees. So we're trying to help cover the cost of those things through our retail operations and our other things that we do. So we've got great things going on in our store. We have 2 locations, actually. Our larger store in the Culver City area in Los Angeles, where we have, you know, over 2,500 square feet of retail space. But that's where we also operate our kitten foster program and our daycare center. We have, you know, animals coming in here every day. A lot of them are our former animals that we adopted out to these great homes, and they come back and we get to continue on and be a part of their lives as they come in for playtime and to get grooming services. And so it's great for us to continue to see them grow and get so happy. And we knew what that was like when we went into those shelters and we pulled them out of those situations, and we're able to, you know, really work with them and find just the right place for them to go. And they're so happy coming wagging their tails back in, and all the staff gets to continue loving on them. So it's just great. And the other thing that we're able to do is to help them be successful in the home, because so many animals are surrendered back to the shelters because they have, you know, bad coats, or they have health issues, and you know, maybe they've chewed the leg off of somebody's table or chewed somebody's favorite shoe. Well, if we can send an animal home with the proper equipment, meaning really good food, so that it's going to, you know, take care of its skin and make it healthy from the inside out, and then we can give it those good, healthy toys that they're going to be chewing on instead of the table legs, and, you know, give them friends to play with if they want another pet to play with too. We're able to really set that animal up for success once it gets into the home. So we're really not just looking to sell you a bag of dog food or a toy. We're really looking for the whole experience for the animal to ensure that it's happy, healthy, and has the best chance for a great life in their home. So that's just a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, you know, I found a video on YouTube, and I didn't ask if I could share it, so I hope it's okay.
Go for it.
But it's a video that shows it's your before and after pictures of build out. Okay, so I'm going to share that now because I was surprised. It's such a beautiful place. I was surprised to find out that it was a car dealership or a car mechanic. What was it?
Yeah, it used to be an auto shop, and, you know, so we took it and we've converted it into this great space. But when you look at it and you know that it was an auto shop and you see the windows and you go, yeah, that could have been the garage door going up there. But it's a happy, bright space. You know, we really wanted to have not this sort of sad space. You know, a lot of people want to adopt animals from shelters, but some of them are kind of nervous about going there because, you know, they feel like they might not be they might be depressing. They might make them sad. So we wanted to say, no, this isn't a sad thing. This is a joyful thing about adopting animals and bringing these animals into your life. So we've made our place really bright and happy and fun and hopefully really welcoming to people to come in.
Yes, awesome. Well, I have the video here. Let's see if it loads for me. There we go. Okay, so just because we didn't rehearse this in the beginning, they won't be able to hear us, but they'll be able to, and we won't hear the audio of the video, but they'll hear it, okay?
Okay. it's all covered in with great grass and play yards and all sorts of fun things for we can go outside and do meet and greets with animals. And,
oh my gosh,
and
awesome.
Potential people.
Yeah, no, I love it. So Donna, you couldn't hear us earlier, but she was saying that now they've got like outdoor play areas there, and those murals. Those are done by someone who's let me pull up his name here. I think I have it. Unless you know it off the top of your head.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. David Flores.
Yes, David Flores. They're really, really cool, and it's just so neat to see how a beautiful space it is. Did you guys initially, right when you, I guess probably, yeah, if it was all built while you were there, was this like all in the initial concept, or did you have phases of introducing all these like interesting business models to a rescue?
No, the intention was to go in and do the things that we do there. So we put the daycare center in. It was all done, the entire thing. We did. It's not quite as large as we'd like for it to be, and we'd love to be able to provide, you know, overnight services, but because of zoning, we're not able to do that. So we do as much as we can in the space that we have, which makes it, you know, for us to maximize every square inch to not only help the animals, but help us raise the revenue that we need to be able to support them.
Yeah. Okay, so what I would love to hear about you, one of your strengths is data and paying attention to the numbers and the KPIs. You know, I have a feeling that we may even have some viewers that have never even heard of what a KPI is. So can you tell us what that is and then why it's so important to business?
Well, you know, we feel it's important to know what we're doing and what our goals are, and make sure that everybody on our team understands that and is a part of it. And particularly because of our life-saving mission, we want people to understand exactly what it costs to save a life, exactly what it costs us to do each, you know, to do each of the functions that we perform. And by knowing that and understanding it and tracking it on a weekly basis and even a daily basis, we can know what we want to do to be able to accomplish our goals. We've even looked at our facility to say, you know, we have partnerships with our local shelters, and we're trying to figure out how many lives we can save a year. We're in the process of doing that strat planning for next year right now. And so what we've done is looked at our cage space, look at our the number of animals that we feel that like we can adequately care for given the number of staff that we have. And it's called your capacity of care. So we've identified what that formula is and how many animals we can conceivably push through our system to optimize our life-saving capability. So that's one of the numbers that we look after. But the other is that we're trying to see is we've looked at retail operations throughout the area and said, you know, how much can you sell? How much can we really be able to raise to be able to support our mission? And so as we look at what we're trying to do, it's not just because we're trying to make a profit to go in the bank. We're trying to make a profit to save lives. And so we've got everybody really focused on that. And the best way that we think that they can be focused on it is if they really understand what it takes. So we've got numbers on, you know, how much we anticipate bringing in on a monthly basis, how much we anticipate bringing in on a weekly basis. Everybody's got goals and objectives. We even know how many animals we want to pull out of the shelters on a weekly basis. And we have to not only take into account the animals, but, you know, like when we're dealing in the midst of kitten season right now, we're planning on pulling 1,600 kittens from our shelters this year. And to do that, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes, you know, making
a lot of kittens.
It's a lot of kittens. We have a lot of kittens in Los Angeles. It's one of the biggest things we're struggling with. We're doing really well in the dog population, but kittens are just a challenge because of some of the restrictions we have here. And spay and neuter is so important, and being able to make sure that that's happening. But, you know, we struggle with the kittens, and we're just doing a small part of what's going on in the community. A lot of people are working together to make this happen. But if we're going to bring in 1,600 kittens, what's that mean to the rest of our operation? How much are we going to have to support that? How much are we going to have to sell to do that? And knowing that our adoption fees don't even come close to covering the costs that we have into those animals. So how much are we going to have to raise on our retail floor and able to do that?
So have you found that a lot of your, I guess, are you selling the products more to the people who adopt the animal, or are you seeing a bigger, consistent kind of lifetime value of customers coming back and shopping again? Where's the majority of the retail spending happen?
The majority of right now, we're kind of in a transition phase right now because initially when we started out, it was through our retail adopters or our adopters. They would come in, they would buy what they need. And, you know, Los Angeles is kind of a large area. We would get people coming from kind of far away, and they might go to their local store. But what we're trying to do is to get them to understand that they are part of the solution that we need in this community to help us save lives. And if they come back and shop with us, and they send their friends to come back and shop with us, even when they're not adopting, they are that solution, and they help us be able to go and get one more animal and one more animal and one more animal with every, you know, bag of food that's bought and every, you know, few $100s they spend with us. It makes such a significant difference for us to be able to continue on in our mission. So it's both. And we're hoping that those return adopters, our return purchasers, are going to even outweigh the time of adoption. Because if we're adopting 2,500 animals throughout the year, that's only 2,500 purchases, you know, unless they're coming back to us time and time again. And our goal is to get them to come back to us because we make it fun for them. We have the products that they need, and they know that whatever they're going to get from us is going to be really healthy, and it makes sure that they're going to have a successful situation in their home for their pet, and they're going to be part of the solution.
Right. Well, and KPIs can be so important to retailers and doggy daycares. Are any of them jumping off the top of your head of what you track? I mean, I know I like to think like the lifetime value of a customer. So when you were saying like we've got to realize like how much we need to sell to pay the bills, or, you know, it's like for us, it's like if our team can understand really that one interaction, that first one, if it's really good, you know, that they stay with us, the customer, as long as they live in the neighborhood, they stay with us forever. And with you, if they start to use services too, like that's a big investment.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also interesting because we opened 1.3 miles away from us a training and fitness center, which also grew to have a daycare and has a retail store. And we thought it was going to be so easy to get everyone from the Canine Life Center to go over to the training and fitness center. And it was so difficult. We actually had to bribe them and told them if they went over for a 15-minute, show, we'd give them 5 free hours of daycare. And that's what got people over. Yeah. So that is interesting. And it's a good KPI there would be to see how many of those people took advantage of it, and then did any of them, turn into regulars over there. Yeah. And, these numbers things are so important because we all get into it because we're passionate about the pets, but it's still a business. So we got to know our numbers. All right. Well, Donna, thank you so much for sharing with us. Ed, why don't you tell us a little bit about Urban Pooch? Sure.
Tell us more, and I've got some pictures I can show of Ed.
Sure. So Urban Pooch Canine Life Center, we really developed it out of a need. When we had our little guy, Berwin, who's now an 11-year-old Welsh Terrier, we were running around the city to like 4 different places to get, food, leashes, accessories, beds, crates, and and then we were also taking Berwin to daycare, and we said, what if we put everything all under one roof? And the one thing we noticed when we went to a lot of doggy daycares is we'd walk in the door and some of them would smell like urine and bleach. And we said our goal is to create one of the cleanest facilities around, but have it be very bright, colorful, and have a lot of character. And, we're in an urban setting, so much of what we have in the store is repurposed and reclaimed. And, we had a local artisan who does a lot of woodwork and pipe work. So we incorporated that in. We buy a lot of old tanning carts. Grid wall can attach to a lot of things. Our little treat cart is, an old barn door with a barn pulley holding it to the ceiling. And then we basically attached piping and buckets. And then we have that on both sides, and that's all connected onto an old tanning cart. And all of this was bought in, in the Chicago area. So we feel good that, we're giving back to the community as well. And that, the one thing that's most important to us is that people come in and they feel like, you know, we're providing them and their dogs with love, the same love that they give them, and that we're making their lives a little easier. But when they come in the door, the experience they get is everyone's like, oh, Berwin. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe everyone knows my dog's name. And it's just, you know, it's that love as soon as they come in the door. And, you know, I think that's important because all of these dogs give us so much love back that we want to make sure we treat them as if they're family. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's very important.
Yeah.
You know, and I just believe character is all part of your brand. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm really happy with how we've built this brand and the character we've given it.
Yeah, well, honestly, the Chicago people love it too.
Yeah, I love that.
Those awards. All right, so Ed, one of your strengths is about strategy and either being strategic in your business and also developing partnerships. So I know developing partnerships is probably one of your strategies. But before we get into the developing those partnerships, what do you mean by being strategic? So everything we do, we plan and it's purposeful. Mm-hmm. Very, you know, some things happen just because of what you're learning as you're going, but our goal is to be continuously evolving. If we, from a year from now, if we look exactly like we look now, we failed. Because in order to remain competitive, you have to plan, and we look at sales numbers every day. We look at how many dogs are coming through the door, how many people in grooming, how many people in bathing. And we continually ask ourselves, what can we do better? But the most important thing is creating a plan and looking at the P&L and projecting out, you know, where do we think we're going to be next quarter and next year? Because our goal is to have not only year-over-year growth, but, you know, we want to have month-to-month growth, and we want to make certain that we're always doing better than the month from the year before. And, you know, it's just the more, you know, we talk with our managers and get a pulse of everything, because all of our people are with the customers every day. And, you know, we need that feedback so we know, you know, what's selling, what's not selling, what are customers interested in. Like, someone will come in and we'll see that they have a cool leash. And we're like, where did you get that? And they'll tell us, we'll take a picture of it. And then 2 weeks later, we have it in store. Yeah. Because, you know, and we're totally fine with that because we just want to always have the best. And the one thing we've learned, one of our distributors clued us into this when we felt retail getting stagnant. Every 3 months, we reset a majority of the store. So people come in and they're like, oh my God, that's not where it used to be. And so it forces them to move around. And even like with supplements, every couple weeks, we'll totally reorganize the shelf. And it really, really is quite good. Yeah,
but
you don't have to buy new inventory, but you just that freshness.
But you know what? The purposeful planning and not expecting it to just happen, I think is very, very important. Yeah, and you're looking ahead and saying, as you know, you and I have talked before too, where you're just like, this isn't the growth that I wanted. It's still really good. Yeah. How do I get to that next level? And we use Pet Boss Nation to help us with our sales strategy. And you know what's interesting? So I want to talk about, this is not something I told you we'd talk about, but what's really funny is that I mentioned earlier that I have a doggy daycare that's like a mile away from his. Yeah. So she's a competitor. We're competitors. And what's been so interesting is that his team joined the community, and one of his store managers was like, I'm really learning a lot from Candace about retail. Ed, can we join her program? And you were like, yeah, let's learn. Yeah. Let's learn. Let's work together. And so when in Pet Boss Nation and even in these chats, like, I firmly believe that the independent community, we're not really each other's competition. Our biggest competition is big box and the internet. And the more the independent niche makes up such a small percentage of the overall pet parent spending. And when you can support, and when any independent keeps a brick and mortar space open, it benefits your local communities, it benefits your neighborhoods. And so it's much more important that you can work together with your competitors. And I also think, one of the things is learning from each other. Yeah. And the more we ask questions, because we've already gone onto the Pet Boss Nation Facebook page and asked a question, because we weren't sure about something. And then, you know, Brittany would say, oh, well, these 3 people said this. I'm like, okay, then we're, you know, that's a good, you know, a good way to do it. Because sometimes you just aren't sure how to do something.
Right.
And it's like asking a friend, what do you think?
Yeah, totally.
You know, yeah.
So we have a partnership, but then speaking of other partnerships you have had.
Oh, sure. So the one thing, because I come from, you know, marketing and the innovation world, if I see something, you know, like on Kickstarter, which is where a lot of things are funded in the beginning, I, you know, we have these terribles, which their limbs tear out with Velcro panels, and the dogs can rip them apart, and then you put them back together. So it satisfies their destruction, but it gives you a toy. But so I saw this, and I literally called the woman who created it, and I'm like, I want to be the first store in the world to carry these products. And I ended up buying like 160 of them and took a risk on them. And they literally shipped the container right from China to our store with all 160. And it was one of our biggest sellers for the holiday. But it's also important, you know, we want to be first with quality stuff. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a lot of times it doesn't mean you're always going to be successful. So every once in a while, you know, we'll have a dud, and we'll be like, okay, so, you know, buy one, get one free. Yeah. And, you know, you live through it. We always have to learn something. I think that's very important, because, you know, you can make a mistake once, but you should learn enough where you're not going to make that exact identical mistake again. Yeah. And, you know, but it's fun. Like we're the only store other than Target to carry Bark box retail items.
Yes.
And I think they designed amazing products, and they're inexpensive. Mm-hmm. And they, you know, we've been very successful with them. They're very creative.
And yeah, it's something that typically a retailer wouldn't think to even do that, because they're like, oh, Bark Box, that's a competitor again, right? Then they're in most mindsets.
And I mean, you know, someone said, well, Target has them. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather them come to me than come to me for everything else and go to Target for, you know, a quality, inexpensive toy, because we can carry it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. The other thing, if you guys have questions at all, please type them in the chat thread. I would love to move on to what you both think are the traits and the habits that you each have that make you successful in your roles in the company. And have they naturally come to you, or if you had to work on them?
You go first, Ed.
You know, definitely passion. And you need to love what you do and like feel that fire in your belly. And I'm normally a pretty passionate person, and I am not going to do anything that I do not feel passionate about. And you know, the funny thing is, because I come from the corporate America world, so sometimes I get a little too structured, is, you know, I come from the innovation world, so I'm not afraid to fail, but you know, I don't have a lot of capacity for BS. So I'm kind of like, let's tell it like it is. Let's do it and move on. Let's learn. Let's evolve it. But I think also you have to always tell the truth. Don't ever lie. And never. I don't care what it is, whether you think it's going to save your butt, don't lie, because it is just not good karma. And I'm a firm believer. So, karma is a boomerang.
Okay, so for you, it was passion and integrity, not lying. Yeah. But were those, I mean, passion I think probably comes, well, I don't know, maybe passion comes naturally, or maybe sometimes you may have to like motivate yourself sometimes. Yeah. But the lying part, did you get in trouble a lot when you were little, and that's why you're like, you can't lie?
You know what's so funny? I was at my very first job, one of my first marketing jobs at Vita France in right outside of DC, and I was in a meeting with my boss at that time, Kim Trin, who was the most amazing mentor in my entire life. And someone asked me a question, and I literally had no idea. And I spent 3 minutes talking about it, and we got out of the meeting. Kim goes, don't you ever lie your way through that. Just tell them, you know what? I'm going to have to get back to you on that. So that one time I did it, but I never did it. I never did it. You didn't want to let her
down again. Yeah. No, that's great. That's so important. All right, Donna, what are your strengths and habits?
Well, all of the things said. Yeah, but also one of the things that has been such a challenge for us in animal welfare is we just have to figure stuff out. I mean, we get into these things and we realize that we have to fulfill a need. We have to find a way to save more lives. We have to get creative about those things that we do. And so not being afraid to really mess up. And, I think, and I'll keep telling our team, don't be afraid to fail. It's okay if we fail, because each time we fail, we're going to learn so much more and we're going to get so much better the next time. So that's something that I tried to instill in myself and our team, is to just say, let's be bold. Let's just jump in there and try to figure out what's going on, because there's a lot hanging on this. And it's not just about raising money, and that's important for us too. But ours is on the saving life side. And, and I've been in shelters where, we were looking and going, I gotta pay. I need another kennel attendant. How am I going to find a way to pay for this? Because I don't have the donated dollars to be able to do that. So, we started selling retail stuff in the lobby of our shelter. And after just a few months, I walked in and said, yay, we can hire another person to help us do more things. And that everybody was really on board. It's like, well, what else can we sell? And we started with selling donated things. And then so we started buying things, and it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And then we started saying, okay, we can only sell really good things. We can only make sure that we're getting the quality into the animal, because we see animals coming in that are not healthy. Why are they not healthy? They're not healthy because they're not getting the right food. They're not. So we were trying to look holistically. So it's like, as we've identified these problems, just the ability to just build on that and say, how can we continue to grow, continue to keep getting better, and really trying to listen to people that are on our team and say, it's not just me. It's not just me that comes up with the ideas. It's everybody here. Everybody has an equal part in helping us get better and helping us learn and grow. And it's from the kennel attendants to the veterinarians that we work with, to the retail sales associate, to the guys running daycare, the gals that are in there, and everybody, to our groomers. They come out. It's like, okay, what's the great idea for today? What's everybody going to think of? How can we do better? How can we understand that every little thing that we do, from keeping our store clean to making sure that our displays look really nice and presentable, and people are going to want to buy it. It's all the little details that go into helping us present ourselves well, so that we can always have that eye on the prize. And our eye on the prize is being able to save more lives. And
how did you get to that team attitude?
Well, one of the things that we're doing, and actually we're having on Monday, we're having our executive director, Amy Gilbert, is taking some of our new employees on a shelter tour. So we're taking them to the places where we source the animals, because, our place is really happy, and the animals that are there are really excited, and they've got a great opportunity, and they're going to go off and they're going to have a great life. But we want our staff to understand what's beyond our walls, what the animals that are out there that need our help and assistance. And so we do that through taking people around and saying, this is what's going on out there in the world. It's not just our little insulated area. So don't just have tunnel vision, really have vision that's outside of the organization. And, Amy and I and the other leaders in our organization, we just really do have this burning desire in us to just help as many as we possibly can. And it's not only in our adopt and shop, but it's through our microchip sales and our microchip free registry that we have, that help not only our animals that we adopt, but animals all over the country find their way back home should they become found in a shelter. And so we work with shelters all over the country too. We do microchip clinics in our adopt and shop location, but we also do our microchip program throughout the country. And to me, we've got over 4 million pets in our registry. And
wow.
So we're working to get those animals back home every day. So it's not just us, not just in our adopt and shop, but we have so much fun, and we want great products and great fun, and to understand that this is we want our community involved. We want our adopters and everyone involved in in what we do, but we also want them involved in what's going on in our community too.
Yeah. So do you think that you get the team culture because you're, pulling back the curtain and unveiling the bigger picture, and so people see everything holistically? It sounds like that's what you're.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. We want everybody to understand from A to Z, what it takes to really do the work that we're doing in our community.
And, that's a perfect segue to the team issue, because you both have really large teams. And have you found here, because I see this in my own daycare, where if you don't put enough effort into it, that the front of the house knows what they do and the back of the house does what they do, and each side doesn't really know what the other one's doing.
they don't talk. We do a lot of cross-pollination where someone will work both in the front and the back, which is really helpful, because we want to keep people as long as they'll work with us. And it's not like we're paying, I think we pay a little more competitively than some people, but it's not like we're paying that much more. And, but it definitely, does, because some people enjoy just being a daycare attendant and other people want to have more customer interaction. And, we've even had people that just come up and try it for a couple months and then, and then go back. But we also do a couple of events a year to get the whole team together. Like we just did our staff barbecue at our house. Nice. So we had 75 people with kids and everything. And we just have them for the entire day at our house for a barbecue. And it's good to just get, because now we have two facilities. So they can meet
each other too. Yeah.
We want them to meet each other. And, it's very interesting, because sometimes we'll have someone from another facility come over to just tap in for retail. And, the one thing, as you were talking, it's the we, not the me, because nothing can be accomplished, unless you're tapping into the team. And I think the collective consciousness is so far more effective. And it doesn't mean you can take every single idea, but it's also when you hear one idea, someone in your group may build onto that. And it's like the iterative process, to the, and definitely. And plus it's just fun. I love just working with all the people and all the personalities.
You do?
I do. But sometimes you have to get your Wonder Woman magic lasso. And,
well, yeah. I laugh. I can't. I'll just knowing that, again, a lot of us, we start our businesses and then they're small and we're helping the customers and we're doing everything that we love. And then, you build, you get more successful, your business expands and grows, and then you add on more people and more team. And before you know it, as an entrepreneur, all you're doing is HR. You're the HR department. And so then you have to make that shift as well, and then get back to, doing what you love and that you're passionate about.
It's interesting because, we started the business to be with the dogs. Yeah. And that is what we probably spend the least amount of time on.
Right.
And it really just annoys me to no end.
Yeah.
So it's something.
It is. You don't expect that, I don't think, when you start, start it.
It's almost like when you're small, you want to be bigger.
Yeah.
And then when you're bigger, you're like, oh my God, if I could be smaller for
all these
just a couple of weeks, but it's, I think it's just, you have to try and work that balance in, which is probably one of the most difficult things to do, I think.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned something in our pre-interview stuff that, one of the hurdles you've gotten over and you've kind of conquered is that as an owner sometimes, and I'm sure managers of businesses too, you spend so much time at the computer and in an office, and then the perception is like, well, what are they doing? Or maybe you get detached from the reality of what's going on. So how did you overcome that?
So I'm in the process of still overcoming it, because I do a lot of, some of the financial things. I do the marketing, the social media. So I just have to pull myself away and go into the room and just stand at the front counter and greet people and talk to them or talk to them about a new toy or just ask them how their day's going. I don't think I have ever not experienced joy greeting a dog In fact, so many dogs that I greet and I'll kneel down to talk to them, they get so excited they pee. And my employees are like, how do you make all these dogs pee? You know, and it's just, I mean, it's just
my secret talent.
Yes, it's my secret talent. But it's just, I mean, it's joy. It's that all they have is love.
Yeah, I always tell them if you haven't been peed or pooped on in a day, it's just not a day. You know.
There you go. I like that.
I have an expression I used today at the daycare. They hadn't heard it before. We had a puppy that's being fostered was upstairs, and we have 3 floors. And I was like, does he go to the bathroom? And he's only like 3 months, 4 months. I know he's going to go to the bathroom in here. And he did. And then my staff was like, oh no, we'll clean it up. And I just said, he's not the first and he won't be the last. So it's like the same in the store. Customers would always get nervous or upset. They feel bad. You know, when they're
oh my God, I know. And I always say to people, if pee or poop upsets us, we're in the wrong business.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we do have a question here from Frank. So he's asking this. I had this question myself, or I was curious too. So he says, you know, adopt and shop. With that, he's curious how you're perceived by other local independent retailers, since you're providing an adoption service, which is nonprofit, and then combining it with the retail store, which is for profit. Do you find that other retailers want to support you, or do they see you as competition?
Great
I think
question.
It's probably a little healthy of both, but it is a great question. And you know, it's funny that many of them send people to us. Like we deal with a lot of the groups that, there's a couple of, another one that does really tiny dogs. And whenever they get bigger dogs, they send them over to us. And there's a lot of groups that do, you know, like cat cafes and things like that work with these local adoptions or retail centers. And, you know, it's just a healthy rivalry, I think, a little bit, but, you know, and I don't think it's unfair competition at all, but we're providing a different type of a service. And, you know, it's, you know, I understand what you're saying, but it works out well in our community. And we've got there's a lot of competition in this community. It's not just from us. There's a lot of independent retail in the Los Angeles area.
I mean, I would think, I mean, that's why I think you always have to be evolving. You have to be on your toes. And I always say to my employees, walk in to these competitor stores. Like, just stroll in and see what the experience is. And, you know, is there something they're offering, or, you know, is there something that you're feeling that's worthy
like that
of
motivates
discussion?
you, or maybe like gets you excited again?
Yeah. One of the stores in Andersonville, Kreisers, which has become a little bit of a big box store, they just moved into Andersonville and now are a direct competitor of this one independent. So I, every once in a while, will go in and buy something because, you know, I mean, I just think, you know, I want the independents to win.
You're in 2 different neighborhoods. It doesn't,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Now we have them here in our community too, and we do the same thing. We're always just checking to see what's going on, and we want to have that extra little special of something different about us to be able to offer to the community. And you know, when I was running other shelters, I used to work with a lot of these independent retail stores that didn't have pets associated with them and did a lot of events. And I would encourage them to do that with other local rescue groups to help support that effort, and pick a favorite rescue group for them to support and be a part of, and to help connect them to that part of the community.
I think all independent retailers should be connected into the community. I definitely think that should be high on everyone's priority list, because not only, I think, is it, you know, the right thing to do for the whole ecosystem that'll make you feel better, it will bring you customers in the long term.
You do a lot. You go to the street festivals, and you don't just have a booth. You put on activities and demos, and you were at the dog beach in Jackson too, and like, you know, you're all over.
Well, the whole thing is like even, you know, with Jackson at the dog beach last year, we tried training at the dog beach, and we spent the whole summer trying to do it, and found out, guess what? They don't want to do training. They're coming to dog beach to
play.
unleash their dog and play.
It's kind of like torture maybe for the dog. They're like, wait a second, you're saying I have to go to this training class and I can't run on the beach?
This year we came back and we're doing every 3 weeks we do a dog tricks contest and we award a big, acrylic trophy. And then at the end of the year, all the 6 people who won all compete and do a tricks off for a bigger trophy. So, we found that worked.
Yeah. Back to the message of like, just don't have a fear to fail because it's going to happen. And then you learn from your experiences and make better the next time.
Definitely.
I love it. All right. So we have about 10 minutes left here. If anyone has any questions, please type them in the chat thread. But I'd love to just find out what innovations and trends that either of you are noticing within your spaces. So like, since we're talking about America's coolest stores, you're the coolest stores. The judges who were voting picked you guys out of over 60 applicants who went through stuff. So Donna, in the retail realm, is there a trend that you guys are bringing in? CBD we've done CBD talk, so you can't, unless you bring in the CBD stuff. That is for sure a trend. But what else are you seeing in your space? Or is there an area?
Yeah, we've got a lot of interest in CBD too, and just the natural supplements that we provide because, just as dogs get to be seniors and have issues, people are coming in and really looking for solutions for those things. I know I am always. I've got a couple of seniors myself, but the natural healthy products that are really good is probably one of the biggest thing that we're seeing more and more people come in. And we've got some interesting new chew toys and things like that. We went to SuperZoo this year and we just kind of did a different approach to SuperZoo this year, which is, for those of you that don't know, and hopefully everybody watching does, is, one of the biggest pet retail extravaganzas. And maybe Ed will see you there next year. We'll make plans to meet up. But we just looked for new and different products that we could find that maybe hadn't been out there before. And we brought in little bits of this and little bits of that to just try to do some sampling of things so that we could see what was going to work in our environment. Because, we feel like we're still really new and we're still trying to find that right mix of products. So it's just, we've got some interesting little chew toys that are from the trees in Hawaii that are supposed to be really good for dogs' teeth. And, and apparently the street dogs in Hawaii have perfect teeth and don't need dentals. Well, we saw the video, bought some, and we'll let you know how it goes. But it's funny, we talked to somebody that had been there and said, yeah, that's right. They really are this great. So we've got this new product.
We're going to get that.
We're trying it.
And brand email it to us. So we
I will.
I can't do retail anymore right now, but
just whatever we could find at SuperZoo. We were really anxious to see just the new trends that were coming in at SuperZoo. We've got some great new bags. We've got a lot of small dogs. It's a very condensed area, so people are needing small little cute bags to carry their little pooches in, and cats, because we got lots of cats in these small apartments and condos that people have in these areas. So we got some fun bags and Himalayan things. Those are pretty cool right now, and just new, not really indestructible chew toys that have people are looking for. They don't want to just have the stuff that they pull the stuffing out and they're over with. They want something that's going to last.
Sometimes it's nice to destroy a toy, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you speaking from experience.
You have to. Well, what? Just the joy of pulling all that stuffing out.
It can be great.
So, what trends are you seeing here in Chicago?
So, I definitely think people are looking that whole indestructible thing, and that's like a two-edged sword because I don't want it to be too indestructible. They're not going to buy enough. But we want it. I mean, there's a lot of things that have guarantees, and what we try and do instead of having the customer have to call the manufacturer, we'll take it back and we'll do the exchange. But like West Paw Design is definitely one of my favorite lines of product. The one thing that I'm seeing is the combination of like durable, like the Zogaflex, the rubber and the plush together, to make it a little bit more durable. And you know, Huggle Hounds, I think, is great. They come out with a lot of new things, but also pet tech. Like we carry FitBark, which is the fitness monitor for dogs. And you know, originally I thought it was going to be the biggest thing in the world, and it goes in spurts, because when you have to recharge something and people have to pay attention to it, suddenly they start to lose interest. So, but I think a lot more is going to be coming with pet tech. With CBD, we are carrying a locally made ice cream with CBD oil mixed in it, you know, which I think is very interesting, because, you know, people are, I think, afraid of overdosing their pets. So we're trying to do a lot of on-shelf talkers to instruct them, you know, so they don't overdo it. But I definitely think, you know, and also supplements, there's more and more, you know, tested supplements, which are good.
I see a lot of, you know, I feel like a lot of people are doing, I don't think you have this yet, but a truck, like a mobile vehicle that's a store.
No, not at the store, but we have the Playtime Express, which takes people back and forth.
But because I want to show the video of your cat, you know, Catty Mobile or Kitty Mobile, which
Catty
is a
Wagon.
Catty Wagon.
Catty Wagon.
Because
does it sell stuff?
Yes.
Really?
And they do adopt, so they can adopt out 30 kittens in this thing, and there's retail in it, and there's like a meet and greet space.
Wow.
And it's a really cute little wagon, 2 meet and greet spaces. And when I read that, I was like, how in the world do you get that much space in like a bread truck, basically, right? Yeah. And so, but they did a beautiful job, so I'd love to show it. But I think
is it a bread truck?
Well,
it was a taco truck.
A taco truck.
Yeah, it was not a food truck.
But I see that now a lot of our, you know, we feature different boutiques before, like at the Woof Woof Pet Boutique or Boutique and Biscuit Bar in Rhode Island. They just launched their mobile truck, and I see more and more people doing it. So let me play the video here. Oh, you know what? I got to pull it up. See, I had all these already loaded, and then I didn't save them in true, you know, rush fashion.
I still see on some of the mobile trucks, I see products that I don't think are great. So I think, you know, the mobile trucks, they have to also make sure that they have really great products.
Well, we have to be careful, you know, be cognizant of where we're going. And we go to a lot of farmers markets and things like that. So we're trying, do we have cats on the truck? Typically we have cats during kitten season, but during the winter when there aren't a lot of kittens around, we'll bring small dogs or puppies. And so we kind of will, even though it's the Catty Wagon, we'll have a few dog things, because if people are going through, and we'll pull tables outside and have more retail set up outside, so that as people are wandering and meandering through, if they don't want a cat, they can still buy some stuff that would you know, be fun and help the mission out a little bit.
Cool. I've got the video pulled up now, so let me share it here. And
April, and I'm with the Found Animals Adoption Shop. We're super excited to show you our new Catty Wagon, so come on in and let me show you around. Catty Wagon is a space that combines mobile adoptions of kittens with retail product. It's great because not only can you come onto the Catty Wagon and adopt a kitten like you see here, but you can also buy retail product. What's great about all the retail product here is it's meant especially for cats and kittens, and it helps enrich their lives. Having retail product on the Catty Wagon serves 2 purposes. When you adopt a new kitten, you're going to need all this product to get your kitten ready for your home. But also, if you're not ready to adopt a kitten and you already have a cat, every dollar you spend on our product actually goes back to saving more kittens. It's the pet store with purpose. But the great news about the Catty Wagon is that we come to you. So instead of having to drive all the way to a location to adopt a kitten, we're going to be out in the community, at your events, in your hometown, in your neighborhood. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for us and check cattywagon.org to see where we're going to be next. So you'll see a lot of kittens here. In fact, we can have up to 30 kittens on the Catty Wagon at any different time up for adoption. We'll have some litters of kittens, females, males, ranging in ages from 8 weeks to 5 months. And we also have great spaces for you to meet with these kittens when you're ready to consider adopting. We're the mobile adoption truck with big pointy ears and our very own tail. We're coming to a neighborhood near you. Follow us at #CattyWagon.
Okay, so isn't that the coolest? I love the ears we were talking about.
I love the ears.
So, Donna, you were telling us some really cool little fun facts about that Catty Wagon.
Yeah, we not only do it for just adoptions at like farmers markets and other places, we are actually taking it to a wedding coming up. Someone having a cat themed wedding and they want us to show up and be there for a couple of hours and let their wedding guests come in and play with kittens. And, you know, who knows, hopefully that's
some big checks for adopting.
Yeah, and we've done birthday parties at a few different folks' houses where it's like a kid's birthday party and they want to have us come, and we bring little gift treat bags and other things and food and that sort of thing, and let their party folks come in and play with kittens. And we've taken it to a big like exercise thing that was going on in the morning, a morning wake up deal that they had somewhere where they had, you know, music and everything going on, and we rolled up with kittens, and people just went, I'm not going to go exercise, I'm going to go play with kittens, you know. And so it's so much fun, and we do parades, and people just want to see it. It's you can't but smile when you see this thing rolling down the road.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So now as we wrap up, what is I have two things I'd like to ask. You both shared some of like a business resource or a quote or a podcast that you love. So Donna, do you recall what you shared with us? What are your favorites?
My favorite is Rocky Kanaka. I gotta love him. He's doing something with Dogs Day Out right now. It's a new thing that he's got on YouTube. And what he does is he comes and gets shelter dog. He's gotten a couple of ours. He did something with a dog named Herschel that was a big old German Shepherd. And right now he's working with another dog named Garbanzo that we have at our shelter who's about 90% blind. And what he does is he takes them out and gives them their best day ever. He takes them to the beach and hiking and for a popsicle and all these great things. And he does it on his podcast, and he really shows how these special dogs coming from shelters can have such a great time out in the world. And he helps us ultimately get them adopted. So we get people looking at the animals, we get people talking about adopt and shop, and really that mission of shelter dogs make great pets.
Yes. Well,
they may have special needs, they may be crazy, they may have a lot of things going on, but they are full of love and they deserve a lot of love. And Rocky helps us get that message out there. So Dogs Day Out, Rocky Kanaka, he's our guy.
All right. And Ed, how about you? What's your favorite kind of book or?
The Artist's Way is something the creativity and to your true self through creativity, like putting it out to the universe and not trying to control everything, and being a good person, and just tapping into the flow. So that's why I love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Donna and Ed, for joining us tonight, and congratulations on your big wins as a second and third place of America's coolest pet store from Pets Plus magazine. And for everyone that's watching, the next show is actually going to be on September 5th. It's a Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central, where I'll be interviewing Trace from Flying M Feed Company in Houston, Texas. She's an honorable mention of the coolest stores. So don't miss that. And please invite your other pet professionals, pet industry people that you know to come into the Pet Boss Nation community or the Pets Plus magazine community. You can find us both on Facebook and online. So until we, see you next time, hopefully on September 5th. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good week.
Yes.
Happy selling.